Hey, this is Gingy from the Quill Studios YouTube channel. This next late night gaming is going to be containing a lot of talk about suicide and depression, so if that's not your cup of tea, go ahead and log off this video and go watch one of our other wonderful videos. With that being said, I would also like to announce that if you or a loved one are dealing with depression, I highly urge you to seek help by calling 988 or getting into contact with someone that you can love and trust. With that being all squared away, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks for being a part of this ride with us. Alright, bye-bye. So she starts being flirtatious with sex and everything like that, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, I don't mind if we're sleeping together, but I'm not going to try to get back with you. So, I head over to, and we have lunch, we sit down and talk about life and everything. She's drinking a lot more heavily now, and we do the deed, whatever, and
you do the devil's tango.
Yeah, exactly. And I had this moment of clarity, like, we got done and whatnot, and I was sitting there cuddling her, and she told me, "Do you miss me?" And, I was answering full-heartedly, "Yeah, I do miss you." And she looked at me and she said, "I feel so sorry for you."
What? That's a weird twist.
She legitimately, 100% on God, she said, "I feel so sorry for you." And, with that being said, it was kind of just this moment of clarity of, she's never gonna change. That person that you fought so hard for, tried so hard for, failed so hard for, those feelings will never be replicated in any way, shape, or form for you. So what the fuck are you doing laying in her bed? And I kind of left abruptly after that, and I was like, okay, well, thank you for tonight, whatever. We started talking again. She wanted to meet up, and I was kind of just DTF at the moment, so I went back. Well, I was getting ready, and while I was getting my car tuned up to go out to this place, she texted me. She's like, "Hey, so I might have plans, but I will let you know if I do." Kind of like saying, "I'll let you know if you won't be able to make it to where I live." I said, "Yeah, that's totally fine. Just let me know." And so by the time that happened, I was already ready to go. I was dressed up and everything. I was going to treat her nice. That's the best way best way I can put it. I was going to treat her nice.
You were going to be civil about it. You're like, yeah, let's hang out.
I was gonna try to, like, cut off the whole entire like, once and for all, and be like, "Look, I don't need this. I don't mind if we're friends, whatnot, but this has got to stop." And, I'm hopping in my car, and I text her, like, "Hey, I'm on my way. I'll be there in, 2 hours or so." And she goes, "I thought I told you I didn't need you over there." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, I thought I made it really clear when I said, hey, I might have plans later, therefore I will let you know." I'm like, "No, you said you would let me know if you had plans." And she's like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" And we got in an argument over that. I was gonna plan something fun. I was bringing my Switch and whatnot, and we were gonna play Mario Kart, whatever. We were gonna have fun. And I was like, "You know what? I got ready for all this, and you just blatantly lied to me and said, hey, I would let you know, and you didn't, and said that you did. You just fuck off,
Yeah, that's kind of a miscommunication, like, error. I feel like...
No.
I feel like if someone's like, "Hey, I'll let you know," and then you're like, "Hey, I'm ready to go," and they're just like, "Oh, no, I had plans," that could have been a better way to handle it?
No, she told me blatantly, like, "Hey, I'll let you know if I have plans." But
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if, like...
But she didn't even let me know. Oh, well, that's the, okay.
I'm saying
guess
even if she
I
wanted
guess I
to
can agree
cancel,
with you.
like, you'd think at least she would just be like, oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you, like, my plans came up. Instead of being like, hey,
No,
like,
yeah, she never even told me that she had plans. Is
yeah,
the weird thing.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
even when I said, "Hey, I'm on the way," she would have been like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I actually had plans," and that would have been a completely different story.
Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
whole
saying.
thing
I'm like, I
was,
feel like that would have
why?
been, like, I feel like how do I phrase this? For how people normally speak, like, if you forget something, you're just like, oh, hey, sorry, like, I forgot this, like, maybe, like, rain check or something.
Mm-hmm. Like, I have a whole entire I have a whole entire AITA thing about this. So, actually, my AITA actually ends before the second meetup thing. So, what happens is, she finally talks to me again, and she's all like, you know what? Maybe it's best that you just forget me. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe it is. Because obviously you don't understand what I've been trying to do to fucking appease you. Just be nice. Well, I'm not trying to be a nice guy, but I'm trying to be civil, you know?
No, I get that.
I don't know. It's
You were trying to be
every
civil
time,
in all of it and hope the best.
yeah. And, you know I do wrong. I know I've done wrong. And ever since then, I have felt like I just don't deserve anyone. Because of the way she has warped my brain into this thinking of, I don't do anything right, therefore, why would anyone like me? Or why would anyone care for me? And just warped this whole entire perception of thinking that I'm no good because ABC. Because of all this. And as much as I want to scream and shout and tell her that she's wrong, I still believe her. Like, that residual pain that I feel is still there. And I honestly think it's not going to go away. Because I don't know what to trust anymore. My thoughts or my actions. Like, I truly care about her. Oh my god.
You good?
Sorry, there's a creeper. Yeah, a creeper. But anyways, like I said, I don't know how to feel. Because I know I did wrong, I know I fucked up, but at the same time, I can't tell if she did or not. And I feel guilty, to say the least, about everything that transpired between us.
It kind of sounds, at least just from a viewer perspective, that a lot of stuff went down that just wasn't working. And I know that no one can, like, be like, nah, forget her, like, totally in the past, because I have memories of certain people that I still will pop up from time to time, and I'm just like, oh, yay, like, that memory.
So that's what my depression slideshow is like.
Yeah, like, this is what depression feels like. Got it, like, but
your brain's just giving you a reminder that you're a dumbass. I know.
yeah, like, so it's not something that I could say honestly, just like, nah, leave it in the past, like, it's over, it's done. But I mean, the best that I think anyone could say is, like, it's going back to the self-care. It's like, just take care of yourself now, grow as a person, and I would assume that it's going to change. Like, honestly, I've met you in person, and yeah, everyone messes up. it sucks. Everyone does it. No one honestly is like, yeah, I messed up and takes it like a champ. Sorry.
Well, in the sense,
I would say just kind of maybe like you were saying earlier, you're like, I've used a lot of stuff as like growing experience. Look at it more as like that kind of light. Maybe it's how you're viewing the situation that makes it still hurt so bad. Maybe if you viewed it as like a different light, like, see, like, maybe next time I can do this differently or like this differently. And you mentioned multiple times that you were aware that you weren't ready. I wouldn't say let that hold you back, because you're gonna miss a lot of opportunities that way. But I do get being cautious, like you're not just going to accept a whole new job or anything and just move to a whole new town simply because past experience it was like, yeah, that wasn't a good idea. But I'm saying, like, maybe if you take a better light on the situation, which I get will be hard, but if you simply are just like, hey, I've been through this, I understand it better, now I know like what to look for. Maybe you won't look at it as this is how both of us messed up, but just kind of as this happened, and hopefully you can kind of start growing past it.
Yeah. I realized that I have made that mistake. That I put her through a lot more than she deserved. And I'm willing to accept that. I'm willing to say, yes, I fucked up there. But at the same time, she was also very manipulative and told me that she cared about me when obviously her actions showed different.
Yeah.
And so that's the part that fucks me up, is because now I don't know if I can trust, love. Because it's so easy to get wrapped up in that thought of, oh, well, she cares about me. Therefore, I have no reason to be scared. And honestly, that's bullshit.
Okay, so, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. So love is more of a construct. It's something that humanity made. It's a feeling that no one can straight up explain. I mean, you ask anyone, it's like, what is love? They're gonna all give you different, complete answers, and that's because it's different for everyone.
I'd say about 30% of them would say, don't hurt me. Or baby, don't hurt me.
Oh, baby, don't hurt me.
What is love?
But no, like, I feel like for the majority of people, they'd kind of look at it and they all say it's kind of different. And it sounds funny, but if you already said you analyze people. If you can, and not in a creepy way, try analyzing, like, relationships. It could be something so small as, like, hey, these are just two friends that are dating, and just see kind of, like, what works with them. I'm not saying copy it, but if you kind of can, like, if you can get the idea of, like, okay, so this is what someone sees as love, then maybe you can start building on that foundation of, hey, maybe if I view it at this way, it will be different.
Well, I see where you're coming from, but then again, we all have our own identity of love, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, build your own.
That comes from, for me at least, love comes from our traumas, if that makes sense.
Elaborate.
Because, let's just say, well, like, in my case, I didn't have a mom that was around. So okay. I didn't have a complete family. Therefore, when I look for love, I look for, bonding moments with... I look for family. Family, to me, is the true essence of love. because it takes two people to love each other so much to bring new life into this world, to raise and care for that, despite the challenges, despite the odds, despite what the world throws at them. That is true love. They have differences, they have arguments, and people cry, they shed tears, they bleed for each other. To me, love is not just a construct of our imagination. Love is something that is strong enough to move wills, to defy the odds, to push back against everything.
Okay.
Love has the power to completely eradicate all feelings of sadness and hatred. And that's what I think love is.
Okay, I can see the point of view you're going for, and when I said construct, I didn't mean like, oh, it's all fake, it's all in your head. No one loves you. Like, I meant it more as, it's different for, like, everyone. Like, it's not necessarily made up, but this is how your brain functions, this is how you view love. I'd even say that if you took two people who are like, yeah, no, like, we've had a great relationship, we've been married for 50 years, and you asked them separately in a different room, hey, what's love to you? They'd probably say two different things. Like,
Yeah.
For example, you're saying, like, you want a family, you want a, like, companion, a partner, like, stuff like that. And earlier, I mentioned how I saw it as, it's a best friend for life. Like, which is kind of the same thing, but it's still slightly different. I guess in context, it's completely different. Yeah. Like, you're viewing it as, hey, I want to be with this person, and I want to deal with the struggles to grow as, like, two different people. And usually when I'm like, oh yeah, like, a best friend, you have all the same attributes involved, but it's a different outlook, I guess.
It's a different outlook, yeah. Because when you have a companion, you have similar likes and dislikes. For me, for me at least, I see it completely differently, as in, well, when you love someone, despite your likes and dislikes, you have that mentality that this person is there for your best interest.
Yeah.
Or looking out for your best interest.
And it's actually kind of shocking, because for a lot of people, they're like, at first, like, they had, like, this little quirk or something that it was like, it really bugged me, and then eventually it's like, it became something that I kind of liked, and it grew on to me. And so, how do I describe this without sounding heartless? The word love. I personally don't like the word. I mean, yeah, I'll still tell people, it's like, hey, I love you, like, and I mean it, but I don't like the word because of
the context.
How much it could just differ.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for example, I've told you, I'm like, hey, I love you, like, be safe. And that's clearly not the same as when I'm, like, talking to Sammy, and I'm like, hey, I love you. Like,
I love you.
It's different.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I hate the word, and it's more just like a mental thing with me, where it's just like, whenever I heard someone be like, hey, I love you, immediately my brain's just like,
creeper behind you.
Behind me?
Well, you ran in front of it and killed it, yeah.
Oh, I was prepared for that one. You said behind me, so I killed that one as fast as possible.
Yeah, I was just trying,
What?
I love you, honey, but...
But yeah, like, so personally, I've never been the biggest fan of the word, but that's why I used the word, it's a construct, it's different for everyone. It's viewed in multiple different eyes as different things.
Yeah, and that I can 100% agree with. Because it takes a lot to like somebody. But it takes a lot more, in my mind, to love somebody. Because I can say, sure, I love my dad. There's nothing in the world I wouldn't do. But me and my dad have gone through some shit, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I love my dad, and that's something that I don't think will ever change. I do truly care for him. I want the best for him. But then again, that doesn't erase all the bad shit that has happened between me and him. There is still that residual pain and anger that happens with it. But I am more than willing to look beyond those flaws, despite how mad I was in the past, despite how much pain it's caused me since then, to heal from that point that things happened to now. That's what love is. It's, for me at least, it's that, because you can't have, I'm not trying to sound cliche either, you can't have love without pain.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah. And
very cliche though.
Very cliche.
But no, I agree. It's one of those things that's what I was just trying to like convey is, hey, like, maybe if you change the outlook of what it is, maybe it won't be a memory that you come to regret, but one that you're just like, no, like, I kind of needed that. Because, not to be rude, because I'm not saying you weren't, like, you're worthless, because I know for a fact you're not. But, like, going through that experience, you came out, and then you had, like, a willpower of, like, nah, I'm gonna prove, like, you and everyone else wrong.
Yeah, I already told you what I did right after me and her broke up when I got the whole I told you so.
Yeah, and so,
I got my license, I got my, I decided to prove her wrong. And I did that out of spite, granted, but to me, that meant so much more than just laying in my bed being depressed saying, well, pitying me because I just got broken up with. I was like, no, fuck that. I got a reason. I got a reason now to show you that I'm not useless.
Yeah, and I'm saying maybe if you took the light, and I know it's not the easiest thing to do, but maybe if you took this experience instead of being like, hey, we messed up, I messed up, like, whatever happened in the situation, if you look at it as more like, hey, I grew from this, maybe it would be easier just to be like, yep, like, that happened, and then just kind of...
And, originally, yesterday, because yesterday it was her sister's birthday, and I was gonna go, but I found out she was going, and originally I was like, you know what, fuck her, I'm gonna go just to ruin her night. Just because seeing me is gonna cause her harm. And then, like, I stood back for a second, I'm like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Why do I want to hurt her? Is it because I'm hurt? Like, that's not fair at all. Like, there's no point in beating a dead horse, is what I'm trying